German Chancellor Angela Merkel is urging the world to focus more on the climate crisis despite the coronavirus crisis. She appeared alongside British Prime Minister Boris Johnson at a virtual global climate summit. Merkel said the worldwide carbon pricing could be an instrument for curbing emissions. Now, the event, called the Petersberg Dialogue, is being co-hosted this year by Germany and the UK, and it's focused on gaining greater commitments to curbing greenhouse gas emissions. Merkel and Johnson both called for international solidarity against climate change and not to let the financial toll of the pandemic deter them from investing in the planet.
In Germany, we have resolved not to make up financially for the pandemic by contributing less to economic development, less to climate protection or less support for biodiversity, but instead to do more internationally in these areas.
It is really up to us in the wealthier economies just to walk a mile in the shoes of developing nations who are more likely to feel the effects of climate.
All right, for more now, I'm joined by Carla Riemsma, a German climate activist from the Friday for Futures movement. It's good to have you on the program. What do you make of what we're hearing from the Petersberg Dialogue? Is this enough?
It is definitely not. What we see is that there are two areas where actual climate politics right now are not enough. On the one hand side, we have Germany, which is right now saying, well, we're a climate leader by announcing a climate target for climate neutrality in 2045, which is 10 years too late to actually make an impact for reaching or staying below the 1.5 degree target. Germany must get climate neutral by 2035, so 10 years before what is now proposed as a goal. And the second, even more problematic take, as Germany or Merkel says, we want to be solidarity between nations, is that we're talking about climate financing right now here, which is a really important aspect of the Paris Agreement, which is often overlooked, as the industrialized countries have said that they will give money to countries most affected by the climate crisis to help them mitigate the impact of the climate crisis and adapt to the consequences. But right now, we only have 8 billions from the actually proposed 100 billion. So there's a huge gap which needs to be filled.
Well, let me ask you, what needs to be done? What concrete steps would you like to see in order to reach these climate targets by 2035 instead of 2045?
For Germany, the most important aspect would be to have the coal phase out put much to the front. Right now, Germany has the coal phase out planned for 2038, which is at least 8 years too late. We must phase out coal, the dirtiest fossil fuel we have, until at latest 2030. After that, we also must stop subsidizing fossil fuels as we do it right now with 50 billions each year, which is absurd, being amid the climate crisis and funding fossil fuels through taxpayers' money.
You know that there is a national election coming up here in Germany in September. Chancellor Merkel will be stepping down. The Greens are leading in the polls right now. Are you hoping things will improve in terms of climate protection if the Greens end up in government and leading the government?
Well, the Greens are really good at announcing that they're like the climate party in Germany, and they have the trust from the people who actually want ambitious climate politics. But when we look at what they actually propose, they do not have a plan for politics which are consistent with the 1.5 degrees target. So they also need to step up their game to actually be a party who does something for reaching the 1.5 degree target.
Carla Riemsma with Fridays for Future. We appreciate your time and your insights tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.